Some of the most empowering women online are manipulating you. Not all self-help empowers you. Some of it just makes you more anxious, more insecure, more defensive, and even more alone. Hello, fellow warriors. Welcome or welcome back to the Goddess of War. Today, I'm going to introduce you to part 2 of the ugly truth about female self-help gurus. And guess what? Today, we're going even deeper, because what you saw in part 1 was just the surface. Let's start with one of the most hypocritical, but also most overlooked issues in the female self-help space. Number 1, fake confidence advice.
I think why everyone is obsessed with me is my energy. Energy is so important. It is not about looks most of the time. Do I look good? Yes. We're not gonna act like that's not true. But I'm also not the most beautiful person on earth, you know.
How many times have you heard a confidence guru say, learn to love yourself? Confidence is energy. It's all about mindset. Yeah, okay. But here's the truth. This is all valid unless you already look like what society considers beautiful. Unless you've had Botox, fillers, plastic surgery, and you never mention it. Unless you have the money for personal trainers, nutritionists, and veneers to make yourself look effortlessly gorgeous. That's why we see most young women say, I'm not ugly, I'm just poor.
People with a lot of money can afford plastic surgery, boob jobs, nose jobs, fillers, lifts, Botox, veneers. They can also spend a lot of money on makeup, eyelash extensions, etc. They can also hire professional photographers to do their lighting, their editing, everything like that.
There's nothing wrong with improving your appearance. Honestly, do what makes you feel good, but don't act like everything is just mindset and feminine energy when your looks have clearly been enhanced to make you feel more confident, and you're not being honest about it. That's not empowerment. That's manipulation. It creates unrealistic expectations for young women who are trying to feel confident in a world that constantly tells them they're not enough, unless they look like you.
Plastic surgery. Am I against plastic surgery? No, absolutely not. Do I think against the whole self-love movement? No, absolutely not. You have to be very careful with the plastic surgery you do. I think the best kind of plastic surgery is the kind of surgery that keeps you guessing.
Someone left a brilliant comment under part 1 that I have to share here. Simple rule. The more beauty jobs are done, the more insecure the person is. And honestly, that hits hard. Because the irony is that a lot of the most popular confidence coaches online are actually some of the most insecure people out there. If you truly loved yourself, if you truly felt divine and in your feminine power, why are you still injecting your lips? Why are you buying breasts? And who are you really doing all that for? Let's be real. Most of the time, it's not for you. It's for the male gaze. It's for approval. It's because somewhere deep down, you still don't feel like enough without those enhancements. And yet, these are the people giving young women advice on how to feel whole, complete, radiant, and magnetic. It's like taking self-love tips from someone who literally paid to change their face. It's like going to a thief for financial advice. Tell me how that makes sense. And let's take it even further. These same women are getting Botox, which means they fear aging. And the part that really terrifies me is this. Young women who are not even grown adults yet are watching this. Teenagers are listening to women who fear their own wrinkles, their own expressions, their own faces. Why are we raising a generation of women to fear aging while telling them to love themselves? Let me tell you something. When a woman fears her own face, it no longer belongs to her. It belongs to marketers, to social media, to trends, to fashion brands, to the cosmetic industry, to men. Everyone gets a say over that face, except her. But the moment you stop paying, stop buying the fix for something you've always had inside you, that's when you take your power back. But of course, no one's selling you honor. Why? Because a woman who truly loves herself doesn't need the cheap messaging telling her to mute her face, to erase her expression, to smooth away the evidence of her life, her wisdom, her lived experience, her lines, her depth. That's not something to get rid of. That's her worth. That's her power. But you will never hear these influencers teach you that, because it doesn't align with their enhanced faces. Now, there's something even more hypocritical we need to talk about, and honestly, nobody seems to question it. Number 2, fake success stories. A lot of influencers trick you into believing they came from poverty and manifested their way to millions. A good example often mentioned in this context is Wizard Liz.
I used to be broke 2.5 years ago. I was broke, depressed, I had severe EDs, and I was living with my mom crying all day, okay? I completely turned my life around in 2.5 years.
She presents herself as someone who struggled, started with nothing, and rose to success through manifestation, productivity, and self-care. But based on what's publicly known, her lifestyle was built on access, not pure achievement.
You can literally turn your life around, and which is what I did, and I am shocked, to be honest, because now I'm like sitting in a park. I moved to a different country. I have my own apartment. I make more money than I could ever imagine, and it's crazy to me.
What she doesn't usually mention is that, according to many reports and her own past content, her multimillionaire boyfriend at the time flew her out to Dubai, paid for her apartment, her bills, her high-end therapist, showered her with gifts, vacations, and every tool she needed to curate the perfect image. She took that setup, and instead of being honest about it, she turned it into a brand. She documented that lifestyle and told millions of girls that manifestation, guided meditation, and self-care were the reason she was glowing up.
I take the pen and paper. Mind you, I was in rock bottom. I write down, I am living in this country. My partner is this person. My partner spoils me and buys me everything I want. Listen to a guided meditation about it every single day. I listen to one on YouTube. It's for money, right? Literally, like, my income started exploding. Every single day I sleep, even if I don't upload, I make money.
Let's be honest, that's not how you make money. That's privilege dressed up as personal growth. It resembles a sugar baby setup more than an empowerment journey, and selling it as such can be incredibly misleading.
I am a very generous person. With my female friends, I always, like, if they want to come down here in the country where I live, I will pay for the flight. I will pay for them, like, for everything, like their stay, everything. I don't mind paying for dinner.
We see Liz saying things like, I treat all my female friends. I pay for their flights. I could feed 7 children on my own if I wanted. But what she's not saying is, it's all on his card, not hers. Her YouTube ad revenue, few sponsorships every here and there, her book sales, her merch. Let's be real, that's not enough to spend money like that. And I'm not even trying to be mean here, but the math simply doesn't math. Dubai is not a playground for those who are truly starting from broke. It's one of the most expensive cities in the world. It seems that she already had access to wealth before her social platforms blew up, because she dates wealthy men. So her actual financial strategy? Date a rich guy. And she even says it herself. She doesn't have to do a thing because her boyfriend covers it all.
For me, I literally have no motivation and no more passion for life, like, at all. Because I literally, like, the amount of money even that I let on the table, and I didn't do brand deals or I didn't do anything because I thought, whatever, it doesn't matter, I have my partner.
Now, I'm not saying it's bad to date a rich guy if you like him, of course, and you are not only after his money. But what is bad is teaching young women how to be financially independent, when in reality, everything is handed to you. She didn't have to work multiple jobs or hustle with no support.
I need you to understand that people in life get what they expect. I've always expected my partner to pay all my bills and do everything financially for me.
She was given the time to curate the perfect image because she didn't have to worry about bills. She was gifted luxury, from designer clothes and first-class trips to literal Birkin bags, which now she calls assets in her other videos.
But if you buy, for example, a Birkin goes up in value. So if you resell it, the resale price is higher. So you can sell it for more. I like find someone that has their own house, you know.
True.
They can live there.
So they can leave you alone. Just buy Birkin bags and go.
I got a Birkin, and just because I asked, I said I like the bag.
And you think someone's worth to give a present to? Why not?
Where's my Birkin?
You got 50.
The gift. I want a Birkin now, another one.
So we basically see her being gifted Birkin bags worth thousands of dollars each. And those bags, they don't just sit pretty, they appreciate in value. You can resell a Birkin for more and pay rent for months, or reinvest it and build passive income. So when she says she became a millionaire, maybe she means through privilege rebranded as productivity. And what makes it even worse? She's selling this story to girls who don't even have $20 to spare, much less a luxury bag they can flip for cash. That's her audience. Young, impressionable girls being told that manifestation and affirmations will lead to the same results, without ever being told about the boyfriend, the Birkin, or the backing. These people talk about financial freedom, but very few ever share the real how the actual money was made.
You want to be wealthy. You want to be a millionaire. You want to make more money.
Honey, I know how money works. I know money as an energy. I also came from a poor childhood. I went from being poor to becoming a millionaire at 24. I used to clean toilets, okay, when I was younger, and I loved it. I was the best at cleaning toilets.
People want to know, what is the bridge between being broke, cleaning toilets for a living, and living a luxury lifestyle? How did they make such massive leaps without a very profitable business or years of steady income? And because of this knowledge gap, people are starting to see through the illusion. They don't even take this kind of advice seriously anymore. I mean, for a regular person, it takes years to afford a nice apartment, luxury bags, and a car. Even if your social accounts blow up, the money you earn still isn't enough to fund a full luxury lifestyle. And seriously, these people are giving advice they don't even follow themselves.
I feel like in the beginning, when you don't really have money, a lot of people and influencers, what they do is they try to portray this image of wealth. But if you look at actual wealthy people, they don't dress that way. They always say like these luxury brands and all these things, it's who do they sell to the poor or the people that are insecure and trying to validate themselves.
In one video, she says spending money on designer brands is a sign of insecurity and should be avoided. Yet scroll through her Instagram or TikTok, and there's always a Chanel bag or a Birkin in the shot. She says one thing, but lives another. It's wildly hypocritical and self-contradictory. This is why these so-called gurus are starting to lose credibility. They live in a fantasy land, far removed from real people's circumstances. And before anyone comes at me saying I'm just trying to discredit Wizard Liz, let me make one thing clear. This isn't about hate, it's about awareness. The truth is, we don't actually know these people. We only know what they choose to show us.
So I do not share my personal life. I share the things that I want to share. Other than that, nobody knows anything.
So please, don't blindly believe everything you see online. So much of it is a curated version of reality. Half-truths, filtered moments, selective storytelling. It's not the whole picture, and that's exactly why I'm sharing this. Not to bring anyone down, but to lift you up. Because I don't want you to feel like a failure just because your life doesn't look like a 30-second video on TikTok. So many of these self-help creators are selling you a path that doesn't even exist. And then you end up feeling like you're doing something wrong for not being able to follow it. But the truth is, that path was never real to begin with. And unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. There's something even worse than luxury delusion. Something that goes much deeper than money or appearances. So number 3 is that these influencers are teaching people to be selfish, which really means teaching them to be isolated. A lot of female self-help influencers, like Liz, promote radical self-prioritization, but not in a healthy, empowering way. Instead, they teach you to cut off your negative friends, to pull away from anyone going through something hard, to walk away the moment someone makes a mistake, to confuse being emotionally unavailable with having boundaries.
When my friends, for example, ask like, Liz, do you want to come out? Do you want to go there? I used to feel very bad and just go with them anyways. But now I'm like, no, I don't want to come. And if they ask like, why not? Well, I don't want to, and that's enough reason.
They frame it as protecting your energy. But what they're actually selling is emotional detachment, a lonely kind of life where you trust no one, open up to no one, and keep everyone at a distance. But cutting off human connection is not healing, and pushing people who are going through something hard away isn't helping you. It's fear disguised as boundaries. In general, this kind of self-help doesn't heal you. It isolates you. It disconnects you. It makes you detached from real life. It tells you to protect yourself by trusting no one, and calls that healing. But here's the truth. It creates a domino social cancer, because when someone hurts us, we start generalizing to feel safer. Women start saying, all men cheat. Men start saying, every woman is after money. And just like that, we pass that fear down to our friends, to our followers, to the next generation. We create a never-ending cycle of blame and fear, all because someone once treated us like shit. But that's not healing. That's infection. That's how society stays broken. That's how we end up stuck in a vicious cycle that changes absolutely nothing. Everyone walking around afraid to open up, afraid to trust, afraid to try again. And because of that, genuinely good people are harder and harder to find, but they do exist. The point is, to attract the good, you also need to be good. That's how real change happens, inside every single one of us. Otherwise, you'll just keep chasing and attracting trash. Real empowerment starts when you stop repeating what broke you. If you want a better world, be the reason it starts getting better. It's time to unleash your inner confident goddess. See you in the next video, warrior.